Hello and welcome to today's live event. We are discussing the upcoming brand new, very exciting series called Love Me Lex. This is a web series filmed in Perth, Australia, and is coming out in September. We are delighted to have a few of the cast and crew with us today. You'll be able to ask questions. We'll be finding out a bit more about what happened, how it was made. We'll also have the trailer for you to have a look at. I'm Naomi, I'm the founder of Lesflix. I will be hosting tonight's questions. If you have any questions during this event, you can put them into the comments and we will ask them if they're appropriate. Please keep your comments clean. If you haven't seen a preview of any of the episodes yet at any of the film festivals, don't worry. As I say, we've got the trailer and we will not have too many spoilers. We want basically to give you a taste of what to expect ahead of the release. So I'm going to, first of all, show the trailer to give you a bit of a taster, and then we'll bring into the room everyone and introduce them all. So thank you very much everyone for joining. If you do also want to help us spread the word, please share this live stream. We will also share with you throughout the event the link to where you can find out more about Love Me Lex and get your access. So I'm going to first of all show the trailer and give you a bit of a preview of what to expect from Love Me Lex.
We'd like to welcome you to our very first speed dating event here at the Dragster.
Oh, it's starting.
Oh, where the hell have you been? I've been standing here all
No
night.
dragging this down. That's for the lesbians.
You don't have any cats, do you? My ex loved them. She had 3. I think that's why we didn't get on.
Alexia, after your inability to hook up on Saturday night, we are researching ways for you to do so.
My sister and daughter seem to think I need to meet someone.
Dog walking, no dog. Queer-friendly yoga class.
Can't touch my toes.
There's a beginner's art course for women who love women.
Wet paint. Hot women. Lex, I did not expect to see you here. I'm actually looking for someone, but I don't know what she looks like.
Same.
Why do we keep running into each other?
These meetings are not random. Mum should totally date her. She's liked her from the day they met.
Oh, Lex, you've changed your hair.
It has been 3 years. Guess who's back in town? Miranda.
There'll be drama. You know that, right?
Oh, you came. I wasn't sure you would. No +1?
Don't know what it is about her.
Don't you dare say it.
And what about the cat? It's obvious you two are into each other.
This is comfortable, Lex. It's nice. It's just like old times.
If I were to ask you on a coffee date, you would say?
I would say it's complicated.
What do you want?
I think I want what I can't have.
My head feels like a fountain overflowing, going up.
These schemes continue.
To try and get you laid.
Your concern for my sex life is endearing.
Oh, what can I say?
Wanna be yours.
Wow, if that hasn't got you excited, I don't know what will. But let's bring in everyone we've got with us today so you can have a look. Now, I am conscious I'm going to be a bit confusing. For me, it's tonight. For those in the US, it's night, and Australia, Asia, it's the morning. So we'll try not to get too confused with time zones. So if I do say tonight, apologies for those of you who are already ahead of us. But let's bring in, we have got writer and director Sanya, producer Stephanie, and then some people you may recognize from the trailer. We have Deanna, Princey, and Sarah. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Fantastic. So thank you all for joining us. I guess as a starting point, let's say if anyone does want to comment, please do. But let's start off maybe Sanya, as obviously no series will exist without a script. Would you like to share with us? There's a lot of things that personally for me in that trailer, you know, love triangles, grass is greener, friends trying to hook you up with other people. Tell us a little bit how the script came about, kind of what was your vision for this and what kind of inspired you to write Love Me Lex?
There was a lot of things. I guess the main one was I just had this story about this woman in her middle years, shall we say, who has been single for a while and wants to find someone to, you know, spend her life with. And I thought that sort of thing, you know, it's always fraught with all sorts of things. So it came about because I thought I know so many people who have been in that sort of situation who are not as young as they once were and who struggle to get out there and find, you know, the person that they want to be with. And yeah, it was a fun script to write because I had so many different scenarios that I could have put Lex into, and you know, you have to narrow it down to a few. So yeah, we had some you know, blind dates and nights out and speed dating and, you know, all sorts of things. So it really was just a case of having a bit of fun with Lex and thinking about the different scenarios that people have to put themselves into. You know, if you're not actually being introduced by somebody, then what do you do? Where do you go? How do you find someone? So yeah, that's basically where it all came from.
Fantastic, thank you. And yeah, I think there's a lot there that even I and I'm sure many people do relate to, and I think that's what makes this so exciting. And hopefully that so many people will relate to. And it's nice to see that we've got also a bit of an older representation. I think the one thing I hear a lot of is, you know, can we have some stories that are not coming out stories and show us a little bit later in life as well. And so it's really nice to see this story. Stephanie, obviously a lot of people maybe don't understand what a producer does. Again, as important as a writer is, nothing happens without a producer. Can you tell us a little bit about how you came onto the project and what really drew you to Love Me Lex and to working with Sanya as well? Oh, I think Stephanie might have frozen slightly. Let's give her a second to come back.
Can I jump in while we're waiting for Steph?
Of course, absolutely.
Look, Steph came on board fairly early on in the piece after we'd secured a little bit of funding from Lesflix and one or two other avenues. And I got to a point where I thought, oh, I can't do this anymore. I need someone who is experienced and who knows what they're doing and who, you know, is able to take this where we would like it to go. And I reached out to Steph, and pretty quickly she came back to me and said, yes, I want to lead this project. I want to be part of it. And yeah, so it was quite amazing that we were able to get somebody who was so experienced and able to, as I said, lead us where we wanted to go. So yeah, it's been great for me working with Steph. So I don't know if Steph's back on board now. Are you with us again?
Am I back on?
You are. Did you hear my question or my report? Yes.
Yes, I did. Yes, and you answered that beautifully. Thank you, San. I was very, very, very proud to be a part of this, and I was very happy when San asked me. And again, I believed in the show from day one, and we have been working on this really, really hard for a long time now. Here's my cat. Yes, I liked the idea again that we were showcasing older women on screen. We made sure pretty much what's the word?
Representation.
I'm lost for words. What's the word?
Representation, diversity.
That's it, representation on screen. So yes, I'm very proud to be part of it, and I'm very, very proud to be part of what San's visions and everyone else's visions, and everyone else did a really good job on the screen. And yeah, that's it. Sorry.
No worries. Thank you. I think
talking on screen.
Well, I mean, what would it be if it was a sapphic show without a cat somewhere on screen? I think so. Yeah, don't worry.
That's it. Yeah.
So obviously, again, we've obviously got three very talented people here as well with us. Sarah, Princey, Deanna. I guess let's start with Sarah and go through each of you. It would be really nice to hear how you came on board, I guess, really, and also maybe if you'd like to share one maybe little nugget of something exciting or interesting that happened on set that you think might be quite interesting for people to hear about. Sarah, let's start with you. So how did you come onto this project?
Yeah, so first off, I did what a lot of us do in our industry, in the acting world, is, you know, we source a lot of our own jobs sometimes, you know, always actively looking. And there was a post on Facebook on one of the acting pages that we have here in Perth, Western Australia, and I saw that there was a promotional video to be made for Love Me Lex, and so I sent in my self-test for both the roles of Kat and Lex. So that was fun. Got to do both for my test and sent them through to San, and then yeah, we did a crowdfunding video, and San said, "Come on board. I'd love you to be a part of that." And then that was, you know, be a part of the crowdfunding video, but there's no guarantee that you'll, you know, be in the actual production. And I knew that. That's fine. That's no problem. We do that all the time as actors here. We just, you know, throw our hats in the ring, and just, you know, such a wonderful experience to work with San. And then she called me up and she said, well, we'd like to offer you the role of Lex, actually. And I went, oh, it's great, awesome. So that's how I came on board. And yeah, I think there are so many things that happened on set. I think there are so many things to say, because it wasn't just any old set, you know. It was such a warm and welcoming community and family that we had on set, a truly supportive one, where everyone was there with a common goal just to make this amazing and great. But I think some of the, well, one of the things that we had to sort of, you know, adapt to was the heat at the time, because it was in the middle of summer that we were shooting, and we also had COVID restrictions, so we also had to wear masks and stuff. And I mean, I felt for the crew, because they had to keep that on all the time, whereas we could take it off to obviously act, you know. And yeah, I remember this one day, it was really, really, really hot. So it was about 40 plus degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but is that 100 degrees or something? Yeah. And we were shooting outside, and also having lights as well, and it was just roasting, and we had to do this scene outside the front of a location. I think it was Steph's mum's house, and Deanna and I were having this kind of like nice romantic moment, but we were just dripping in this sweat because it was so hot. But you know, just things like that. It was, you know, when something is so like extreme, you just think, oh my gosh, this is so hilarious. So it was just, there were many moments like that. But I really enjoyed doing the scenes as well that had all the family in it. With beautiful Catherine Marmion playing my sister, Lex's sister, and Shay Clayfield, who played Lex's daughter. We had a lot of fun on set with that. They had a great ability to ad-lib and improv, and feeding off of that was just a joy. And we got some you know, gold, as they say, acting gold, and it made some of the cuts, so that was good.
Fantastic, thank you. I mean, that leads us quite nicely on to you, Princey, as Sarah mentioned, playing sister. So how did you come on board the project, and tell us a little bit about what it was like in this role? Because I think for you, it's probably, you know, I think whether or not it's a sister or a best friend or a close friend, like it's important to have that person who does help us kind of, I guess, get out if we're a little bit like, there's no one out there, I give up, I'm not dating anymore. So is there anything kind of that you pulled from real life, or how did you kind of get into character for that role?
Yeah, well,
Actually, I do a lot of auditions with Sarah, actually. So with her company. So yeah, I would cross paths with Sarah quite often, and yeah, she sent me a text and she said, have you heard about this? There's a lesbian miniseries coming up. Yeah, why don't you put in a self-test or audition for it? And I thought, wow, that sounds really exciting. So I said, yeah, thanks, man. That's brilliant. So I got the information and I reached out to San and she gave me the script to read and I loved it. Like the section that I was able to read out and do the self-test for, I immediately thought, oh, this is going to be brilliant. And it was only a short portion too. So so I was kind of in like from the very beginning, not even knowing if I was going to be in at all, but definitely wanted to see it all completed. And so, during the process, Sarah was right. It was hard. It was really hard. And I guess we all have little bits of bloopers, and no matter, it happens in normal life, but when you're getting filmed, and you have a dozen or so people around you, there was one scene I do remember, and I was in the kitchen with Sarah, and we'd repeated it, I don't know, at least 20 times already. And you think you'd know your lines, and then we're right in the very middle of it, and I'm supposed to say something, and I just stop, and I look at Sarah, and she doesn't move. Her eyes are just fixated on me, and she's willing me to speak. I can see it in her eyes. She's willing me to speak, and I just froze. And then I hear this little voice in the background, and whoever it was, they just shot out my line. And as soon as it came out of their mouths, it came straight out of mine. And then we just kept rolling. And that was, for me, that was kind of priceless. That was a little bit of gold. So that was fun. But yeah, like this series and these women and this community that we were all in while filming, it was so easy to pull out of my own life. What you do with your best friend. Of course you're going to support them. Of course you're going to get angry if they don't go on that date that you set up, that it took, 3 different, coordinations and phone calls and meetups, and then they don't go. It's like, are you kidding me? You are going, girl. I've set this up. This is happening. And then when you watch things play out and you watch a connection that you don't necessarily want it to happen, and you see this ex coming in, you go, oh no, oh please don't let this happen. So for me, it was really quite easy to just draw on my own emotions, my own experiences, and then be able to just really be in it while you're in that scene. So yeah, the whole experience was fantastic. The writing, just the support, the other actors. Yeah, I had a blast. That was really good.
I mean, we can just tell, like, the enthusiasm and excitement is amazing. Before we move on to Deanna, we've already had a comment which I think really kind of, I guess, shows the potential this series has got to really kind of create, I guess, what team people are going to be on. So Colin Holloway has left a comment which we're going to discuss as we introduce Deanna, who has already decided they are Team Cat. Now, obviously, Lex has got these two, an ex and a new romance, and we all know these kind of situations. So you've got Team Cat and Team Miranda, and so like Deanna, how did you come on board, and why do you think everyone should be Team Cat? Unfair, given we haven't got Miranda here but as you're here, you should absolutely be able to kind of let us know why we should all be Team Cat.
Well, okay, so first I'll talk about how I came on. I've got things to say about the Cat and Miranda thing. It's very funny, but I got involved because, like Sarah said and Quincy said, it's a pretty small community here in Perth, and so if you're paying attention, you see things coming up and you see your friends doing stuff. And I saw Sarah was involved in making a proof of concept kind of piece for funding, like Kickstarter funding. for a show. And as soon as I saw it, I was just like, oh, what's that? What is that? I think I want that. like straight. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, this is exciting. This is different. This is like my age bracket, my life. You know, like it fits, right? And it's different. Like there was nothing else being made, not just in Perth, but like freaking anywhere, really. You know, so I saw that and I was like, oh, I'm going to have to keep an eye on this, right? Clearly, they've already cast the thing that they're making. And sometime later, a few months later, I don't know exactly how long, I saw an audition go up, an audition request go up in one of the groups. And like, honestly, I don't think I've ever done anything as fast. I saw it. I was in the backyard with my family. I was like, everyone shut up, don't talk to me. I'm busy. And I like ran up to a corner of the garden and I recorded the little intro video that San had asked for in this Facebook post and said, this is who I am. This is why I think that you should take a closer look at me. Tell me what you want me to do, please. I just want to be involved. And San came back to me, gave me the opportunity to audition for both Kat and Miranda, right? So I've sort of spent a little bit of time in my version of both of those characters, which was really, really cool, right? And that kind of is partly why I don't really, like, I think Miranda's an amazing character, just as much as I think Kat's an amazing character, you know. And I don't want to give away what happens, right? But, like, they both have value in the space, right? And they both have things that appeal to Lex, right? And that's a really beautiful part of this story, I think, right? Like, yeah, you can be Team Kat, like, great, awesome, I'll happily have you on Team Kat, right? But you can also be Team Miranda, right? Because there's a reason that Miranda and Lex spent time together in the first place, you know, and I love the exploration of that. So it was very cool to be able to audition for both characters. But when I was offered Kat, I was so excited because I feel a bit of a kinship with her. You know, there's bits of me in her, of course, right? So yeah, being involved in this series is like one of the best things I've done in my career. I just love it. It's the people are amazing. The story's just incredible. The crew was just like insane. I've never worked on a set that has had that level of like support and intimacy, and we spent a long time building the space. You know, we spent a lot of time in rehearsal for this show. We spent a lot of time together, right, building it together, and I think you can see that in the final production. You can see how much everyone loves it and how much effort everyone put into it, and that everyone was there to tell the story.
Fantastic, thank you. I think, yeah, there is so much you can relate to, and obviously we've got Team Kat, and Team Miranda now. I think for me, I mean, who hasn't thought about going back to an ex? We've all had those kind of times when you think, what's the best thing for me? And I think there's so much like that. So, Sanya, I guess you mentioned before you had so many scenarios. And you had to pick out, and obviously we should mention to everyone this is a web series, so it's an independently made production. We've got 7 episodes, 8 to 10 minutes per episode. So tell us a little bit about how you kind of made it into that format, and also I guess what would you want the audience to know in terms of, I guess, how we can kind of support it, as well as obviously watching this, but like, you know, not to kind of jump the gun, but for people who do like independent productions with really authentic stories, I think this is something people are going to connect with. What do people need to do to help this production be successful and to potentially find out what happens next for Lex, Miranda, Deanna, for anyone who really wants to kind of buy into this story and see more kind of this on screen?
Well, I mean, the first thing is obviously to get people to watch it, and we've had some fantastic success at festivals. You know, our first festival that we did here in Perth was a sellout. It was, you know, 150 seat theatre. We got a standing ovation, the first one that's ever happened at that particular festival. So, you know, we've got people that have seen it, but there's lots of people that obviously haven't seen it. They've seen the trailer. They want to know what comes next. And, you know, it's been a bit of a thing of, oh, just wait, be patient, it's coming. And so finally, you know, we're getting our our big debut online, and so I think the best thing that people can do is to go onto Lesflix and have a look there. That's where you'll find us. We're coming online on the 1st of September, and then it'll follow again with a second release a bit later on. So we would just love for you, everybody out there who's interested in the show, who wants to support independent filmmakers and who wants to, see something that is a little bit different from what's been done before, then, Lesflix is where you'll find it. Anytime from the 1st of September. So please get on board and have a look at what we're doing.
And do you have already more kind of ideas of what would happen next beyond season 1?
Oh, that's a good question. Steph has been in my ear for quite some time to get on and write season 2, and I think the actors would be quite keen for that to happen as well. There are ideas, but it is a long process. From me sitting down to write this to our first screening, it was about 20 months of work, and so there was a lot of people involved. Obviously, Steph being step by step along the side, and you, Naomi, of course, and various people who have been so supportive. So it's a long process, and one that I would love to jump into and get season 2 happening, but it's really just a case of narrowing down those ideas as I had to with the first one, and picking the the bits that were going to resonate and that people could actually relate to. And a web series was one of those things that worked, I think, because it's fairly short and snappy, and people can have their little bite-sized pieces, and they can watch episode by episode without necessarily needing to commit to hours at a time. And I didn't want it to be something that dragged on and on. I wanted it to be something that people could watch, consume, get involved in the story, fall in love with the characters, and do that all in a kind of a bingey sort of way.
Yeah. I mean, we've certainly seen, though, the potential of web series. Well, first of all, I think you don't have those limitations of trying to sell to a production company and a TV network that this story is worthy of being on network. So you keep that creative control. And I think for the audiences watching who want to get behind this, I think what this is saying is watch season 1, and then you can send ideas of what you'd like to see happen, and maybe that might make it into season 2. I think we can certainly see Australia's got some fantastic history of making some great series, like started from Now, I think ended up with like 6 series. There's things like Flunk as well. So hopefully season 1 is the start, and it will continue to go on. And obviously, as you say, everyone's obviously really on board for it happening, which is really good. Stephanie, as a producer, how does this project compare to other projects you've been on? And why do you think it is that you get such a good atmosphere from such a production such as Love Me Lex? What's the magic?
Well, what I try and do is I try and team my cast and crew to fit with the director. So with this, in this case, I wanted to have a family around us. So we, especially with the crew, I mean, the cast was pretty easy because we loved everyone already. But with the crew, we made sure that we had a family surrounding us. And that's what showed all the way through and again, through the heat, through the long days, long nights. I mean, we really did support each other throughout the filming of this. What's different between this and a lot of other stuff I've done? This is I work a lot with a lot of independent up-and-coming filmmakers. And I try and help, like with you, Naomi, and what you do, like supporting like up-and-coming people and getting them out there. I really like to do that. And with San, she was somebody that I just bonded with straight away. So, and like I keep telling everyone as well, I've made so many really good friends out of this series. every film set you're on, you tend to get really close with the people that you work with. But this one in particular, I think working with women and being surrounded by women, I mean, even in our production meetings, there was no egos, nothing. Everyone had time for each other. Everyone let everyone else speak. Everyone listened to each other, and everyone was, I mean, it was just beautiful. It was just a really nice situation to be in. And even at the end of the shoot, we were in Sam's kitchen, and we were all telling each other how much we loved each other. And it was like, oh, and I just want to say, I love you because you did such and such and such and such, and I love you because you did, and it was just so lovely. And basically, like I said before, it was pretty much 95% women or identifying. I think we had Ed, our one straight male, who did gaffing, but yeah, I mean, it was like, again, it was beautiful. It was a really nice experience, and one that I won't forget. It's been a lot of hard work from me and the back end as producing this, because I have to make sure that everything that you see on the screen gets done. And also with the funding side of it, and getting money from you guys and getting money from Screen Australia and dealing with that and how we're gonna budget everything. It was a lot of work, and I just loved every minute of it. And again, it was the most stress-free. Well, I'm not going to say stress-free because it was pretty stressful at times, but it was a lot of fun. It was so much fun. And again, we had such a great cast. San, beautiful writer. I just loved the first time I read that script, I just knew it was going to go somewhere. We started off with 8 episodes, and we cut it down to 7, which was a little bit of mixing with editing in between. But yeah, it was great. Great. I loved it. That's it. I'm not saying anymore.
Sarah, can you share with us, maybe without any spoilers, one moment on set or one line that particularly has stuck with you or that you think people will really enjoy?
One line. Oh, I think there's so many. I think the one where there's actually a funny line in there, and sometimes people pick it up and sometimes people don't, but it was an accident. I said, oh, maybe I shouldn't say that one because then you need to pick it up. Well, it was funny at the time. I don't know. Some people do pick it up, some people don't. But there's a line where I say, I'm having noodles at the kitchen table with myself and so Lex and her daughter are having noodles, and her sister walks in and sits down and basically wants to have some noodles, and I said, oh, yeah, you can help yourself. They're on the fridge. And I went, and I thought, oh, that's not right. This was actually in the filming, and it made the cut. Oh, they're on the fridge. And then I went, actually, they're on the stove. And
I didn't even notice.
And then my sister says,
"You're fired."
Oh, good, because that would be really weird.
Total ad lib, right? And like fully made it in. It's so beautiful, but it's so natural and real. It's just a thing that happened,
We played around with that a lot in the edit, and in the end, Ollie, who was our editor, said, we have to leave that in. And I said, it really works. It's good.
Well, it is exactly, isn't it? We all say the wrong thing from time to time, and so if it works, it works. Fantastic. Princey, for yourself, anything similar to share? Anything that stuck with you?
Yeah, look, there are so many little things that stuck, but I think what I actually enjoyed the most through San's writing is the emotional facial expressions that I was able to show. Just like my disgust or, that shock. It's like, did she just say that? And it's those expressions that you see or you feel, and it comes out in day to day. But when you've got when it's captured, because sometimes like in life you try to mask it. You go, oh, like, but inside you're all like this green thing that's come out, or this purple, you know. But during the filming, and knowing that I can do all of that, but then to see it on the screen and see that was captured at that moment, and for it to, and I remember that moment. I remember feeling how I felt. And it was also real. So for me, it was, a lot of the emotional side that came in through the writing. Yeah, there were too many good one-liners for me just to pick one. So,
I mean, yeah, that's what I find. I think that the script is really strong. So, Deanna, coming to you last for yourself, anything that stands out? What line particularly do you think would you like to share that doesn't spoil anything?
Well, look, it's really funny, right? Because I don't really have lots of lines in my head right now, right? And that's partly because I don't remember stuff like that I've shot once I've finished shooting it, but also because it just was really natural and real. And none of it stands out as like a kind of moment for me. It was a moment of human connection after human connection after human connection, and all of the, like Princey said, all of the emotional stuff was really the stuff that stays with me. You know, like there's scenes where we got to play with awkwardness, which was super, super, super fun. You know, we all got to like really lean into just being like epically weird about things, you know, and seeing how far things went, right? And like that's how we are as people when we're taken aback sometimes, you know, like we don't. Yeah, sometimes we mask, but sometimes it all just comes out. And then afterwards we're like, oh, shit. Right? Like we got to play in that space, you know. And San's writing was really clean and didn't extrapolate a lot. There's not a lot of extrapolation in the dialogue, right? And what that does is give us as actors an opportunity to play with the subtext. All of the things that we're not saying with our words, we get to say with all the other things that we have at our disposal, you know, all of our other communication tools. And that is a freaking revelation, right? Like that's a really lovely thing to get to do as an actor. So they're all the bits that I remember, right? Not necessarily the words. I mean, the words were great and beautiful and really lovely, but all the play that we got to do around them, that was just joyful and really, really down to the way that it was written.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. And I think that's what I think people are going to resonate with most is really kind of just seeing themselves in moments and going, oh my God, yeah, I've been on a date like that. And oh yeah, I felt like that way before. And I think, you know, this is obviously an Australian series and we're going to have viewers from all over the world. But I think those experiences do translate across countries, you know, I think what's also quite nice is we've got Lex dating in an older scenario. You know, it's not a coming out story. You know, that's a good thing. But equally, we've got some younger people within the series. So, Sanya, can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I think that's quite nice for me to see that kind of intergenerational crossover of how. And I think again, a lot of women come out later in life, or you know, may separate later in life. And so this is a natural, again, something that not everyone has kids, but that people are really going to resonate with this whole kind of like, how do you navigate dating, especially in a modern world with kind of the next generation kind of nipping our heels with all this kind of, you know, ideas of technology that we maybe don't use. So can you tell us a little bit about how you decided to do that and why that was important?
Well, first of all, I just wanted to connect with that comment that you made about it not being a coming out story. That was absolutely the number one thing that I wanted to make about this, that, you know, so many of the stories which do include people of this age group is, you know, often that there's one character who's out and the other one who's, you know, straight and then falls for the lesbian character and then has to go through that whole, oh, who am I and where do I fit in this world? And I didn't want that. I wanted it just to be a story about two women or three women who, you know, were completely out, comfortable in their sexuality, no questioning about, you know, what they can and can't do, what they should and shouldn't do. And so that was kind of number one priority in writing this. But I also wanted to have some of that, you know, a lot of women of this age, whether they've come out of a heterosexual relationship or whether they've been with other people and had babies via, IVF and other ways of having it done, I wanted to have that interaction, particularly with Lex having family and having a younger sister who was a bit needing parenting herself in many ways. So I wanted to show those aspects of Lex, that she has a professional life, she has a family life that includes, a child and someone else who needs, assistance with getting through their life. But she also has that awkward side of her who wants to get out there, be part of it, be part of the dating scene, but isn't really that keen because she's a bit nervous about it all. She's got friends and family who are pushing her maybe a little bit harder than she wants to be pushed, even though sort of deep down that's really is kind of what she wants. So it was important to build Lex into a multi-layered character. And so in order to do that, we needed the children involved. We needed the different aspects of her life. We needed the sassy best friend, all of this thing that was giving Lex the depth of character that was going to make her not just a one-dimensional, oh, I'm out there looking for a date, So that's how I managed, that's how I and why I built all those different intergenerational kind of relationships in there, just to show the different aspects of Lex and who she is. And Sarah nailed it. I mean, she just had that super professional thing when she's at work, and the awkwardness when she goes on dates, and the the nurturing thing with the kid, with her daughter and her sister, and every single kind of layer of Lex's character. I think Sarah just did such an amazing job with that. So kudos to you, Sarah.
Fantastic, thank you. No, that's really helpful, I think, just to understand. And I think that is the thing, isn't it? Like, we all do have so many layers as women, and I think it's just nice to see those on screen, and it brings together a really nice cast. And I also think it feels very much like, from the other series where you watch and it doesn't feel contrived. You're suddenly like, oh my god, there's an overlap and these things link together, and and that is what happens in our lives, particularly I think within the lesbian bisexual community. It's a small community. We all have to admit, you go somewhere and you're like, I didn't know that person knew that person, and these interactions. And I think the more layers we have, the more likely those interactions happen. So that's what I think made it really kind of organic and lovely. I'm conscious we are getting towards the kind of 45-minute mark. Does anyone, if anyone's watching and has any questions to ask, please do put them in the comments and we will get them asked. Does anyone else on screen want to share anything particular that they're kind of like, oh, I really want to talk about this? If not, what I'd like to talk about is maybe like how people can follow each of you. We'll share as well how to follow Love Me Lex. But does anyone have anything else before we move on to kind of what you're all up to and how to keep in touch with you all about Love Me Lex in particular?
Just watch it.
Just watch it.
It's really, really good, right? Like, and it's really, excuse me, it's really exciting to be part of something, to be in something that is this good. Like, as actors, we make lots and lots and lots of different things. Working actors make things of all sorts of different, like, quality and style and length, and heaps of the stuff we make never even sees the light of day, right? And to have something come out that tells this lovely story, right? And it is a lovely story, right? Like, at our premiere, we got a standing ovation, right? Like, at the film festival that we screened at as our first ever screening, like, literally there were like hundreds of people standing up, yelling and cheering. There were people like going, oh my god, I can't believe it, and like, oh, making all these noises in the cinema. Like, it's a really good story, and it's really, really beautifully made. And I think it's so worth watching. Like, and I encourage all of you, please just watch it.
I agree with that, Tiana, absolutely. And what I'd also like to add on top of that is that this is a sapphic content, but we've had some lovely comments from people who aren't in our community who have just loved it because of the expression of the human condition and that they could actually relate to that. So for something that's been made specifically for you know, the lesbian and queer community, it's transposed and transposable to other people who don't identify as that, and that is quite a thing. You know, that's quite a statement to the writing and the final product. You know, that's beautiful. You know.
And the performances. Can't go past that.
Team effort all round, right? Like it just, yeah, it's a story that applies because it's about people. You know, it's just it's people and relationships and communication breakdowns and like all of the things that happen to us as humans. You know, and like you said, across generations, which is it's a really lovely snapshot of life. You know.
Fantastic.
And what next?
Yeah, exactly. So I think most people have public profiles these days on social. Do each of you want to just put into the comments if you're happy and you want people to follow you, your social handles? With independent productions and with anyone in acting, producing, writing, it's really important to have people follow them publicly and to build that presence. Online presence these days means so much. It can help us get budgets to make things. It helps prove that there's an audience for particularly what they call niche content, which we obviously know we're not that niche, but we are seen as a niche audience. So followers are really important. So Love Me Lex is on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all the kind of standards. But obviously, individually, each of the actors, the cast, the crew, and everyone are also on social media. So what we'll do is we'll get everyone to post their kind of channels so you can follow them. What I want to add as well is that for me, Love Me Lex is the first what we're kind of calling an original. I come together with a colleague, Karen, with Sapphic If. And put a call out, really. I mean, the way we came on board on this project was posting a Twitter saying, if you've got a Sapphic story and you would like some money to help get it made, please reach out. And Sanya did that. And I think sometimes as women, we don't always do that. We don't put ourselves out there. It's been a fantastic, it's been over a year, actually. I think, again, it takes time to make these things. But I think for me, you know, having Screen Australia come on board as well and supporting this really does show the quality and actually what we've seen as well is the production quality. I mean, several people who've seen early screeners have commented how it looks like it could be on mainstream TV. I think that really is testament to, you know, a great production team, a great, you know, acting, a great script, all coming together. And we're really excited about getting this onto screen and getting people to see this. So, you know, I think Screen Australia, you know, only supports so many projects a year, and so it's really, I think, testament to everyone involved that this production got that funding, and I'm really excited to kind of see this come to the screen, and I hope everyone else is as well. I think I'm just gonna share some chats with everyone. Sanya, can you share with us a little bit more about kind of, I guess, because we've got another, for anyone who doesn't know your work, we've obviously got one of your first shorts that you were involved with when Harry Met Selma. So we can get a bit of a preview of some of your earlier work. But how long does it take you to make something like this come to life, and how important is it for the audiences to support you? Has that made it easier, do you think?
With audiences, you mean?
Yeah.
I think one of the things, you know, having worked on a couple of short films, one just as a writer and a couple where I've written and directed, it's the feedback that you get, and the feedback from people saying, I like what you did, and it gives you that confidence, I guess, to go forward. This is by far the biggest project that I've worked on. You know, it's a good 60 minutes in total from start to finish, and you know that's actually quite a large and significant project. So I think the best way that people can support is first of all watching it, and letting all of us know, not just me, but all of us know their thoughts and what they liked about it, what they didn't like about it. Actually, don't tell us what you didn't like, just tell us what you did. So once you get that feedback and you know that people are actually appreciating and enjoying and being entertained by what you're doing, it gives you that confidence to go forward and create more content. So, but it's not just about creating the content; it's about having the people around you to actually make it happen. So, without Steph and her work, particularly, I can't stress enough the amount of work she put in to get us money from Screen Australia. And without that money from Screen Australia, and as Naomi said, getting money from Screen Australia, it's a big achievement. They don't give money out to everybody. So the fact that this was a project that was backed by Screen Australia as well, it shows that there is value in what we've done. And but you do it with everybody. It's not a thing that was just Steph and me. It was a thing that had so many people involved, and as it's been touched on, it was a predominantly female crew, predominantly queer identifying crew, and it was all those things that we wanted to make sure that we produce something that was for people by the people who were the intended audience. And I think we did that. And so, yeah, anything that can come back by way of feedback, it certainly gives us some ideas of where to go now, but it gives you confidence to know that what you've done is worthwhile, and it's landed where you want it, where you hope it will.
Well, so far, the feedback from festivals, and obviously we should say that most festivals have only seen a couple of episodes, up to 3 or 4, not the whole series. But obviously you also did a screening recently at one of the sponsor venues, Laneways, and it's been amazing how much positive feedback we're getting and how much people are sending really good feedback, and we will be sharing some of that on our social again to help people understand a bit more about what to expect. But I think, yeah, I'm really excited. I think like the stand innovation, it all shows that this is really something that is what people have been asking for. So we're going to share the trailer again for anyone who joined late, so that in case you don't have to kind of rewind if you don't want to. We do encourage you to rewind because you've missed all the tasty and interesting stuff, but obviously we'll show the trailer again. We've shared everyone's social handles, so you can find out a bit more. And obviously, yeah, so 1st of September is what we call the premium release. This is the first preview. This access will give you access to watch the series, also some exclusive preview content. There's a Q&A with some of the cast and crew here, a few others, and that's all kind of up front. So the first premium access is almost like an early access premium price. And then it goes out as a rental, and then shortly after it will be available on their 6 subscription, which will also get you access to the 300 other titles all in one bundle. So if you can't wait, if you're the sort of person that's like, I've got to do it now, 1st of September. If you want to wait a bit longer to kind of get access to more things, we've got those options for people. But the biggest thing is to share it, to really kind of make sure you tell people this is coming. The biggest thing I think is really important for people to understand is like, Netflix don't even do marketing anymore because our community shares stuff. But actually, it's so much easier for people to share things on Netflix because we all know Netflix. And it's really important to share any independent production and anything that's independently made, because the marketing budgets are incomparable to some of these big streamers. We do need those of you watching this to kind of help us reach more people, because we all have our echo chambers. And it's just really important. So if you do enjoy it, the trailer, you can share this live stream, the trailer, the series itself. So any way you can to help share this is really important and appreciated, because it just means more people will hear about it as well. So we are going to share the trailer one last time before we say goodbye to everyone. I will just line that up now. And then we can see again a bit of a reminder, and obviously also now keep an eye out for anything that was referenced in the chat. And it says, I think what I love as well, when you're watching a second chance, you always see more than the first time. So if you were with us from the beginning, then obviously hopefully this will add some kind of colour to what you've heard, and also be a chance to kind of take a deeper look. So let's just roll that trailer one last time.
We'd like to welcome you to our very first speed dating event here at the Dragster.
Oh, it's starting.
Oh, where the hell have you been? I've been standing here all
No dragging this down. That's for the lesbians.
You don't have any cats, do you? My ex loved them. She had 3. I think that's why we didn't get on.
Alexia, after your inability to hook up on Saturday night, we are researching ways for you to do so.
My sister and daughter seem to think I need to meet someone.
Dog walking, no dog. Queer-friendly yoga class.
Can't touch my toes.
There's a beginner's art course for women who love women.
Wet paint, hot memory. Lex, I did not expect to see you here. I'm actually looking for someone, but I don't know what she looks like. Same. Why do we keep running into each other?
These meetings are not random.
Mum should totally date her. She's liked her from the day they met.
Oh, Lex, you've changed your hair.
It has been 3 years. Guess who's back in town? Miranda.
Oh, there'll be drama. You know that, right?
Oh, you came. I wasn't sure you would. No +1?
Don't know what it is about her.
Don't you dare say it.
And what about the cat? It's obvious you two are into each other.
This is comfortable, Lex. It's nice. It's just like old times.
If I were to ask you on a coffee date, you would say?
I would say it's complicated.
What do you want?
I think I want what I can't have.
My head feels like a fountain overflowing, going up.
These schemes continue
To try and get you laid.
Your concern for my sex life is endearing.
Oh, what can I say?
Wanna be yours.
Every time I hear that tune as well, and I should say, it's the whole thing is so exciting. To end us off, everyone think of one word that you think would sum up or entice people to watch Love Me Lex. So let's start, Sanya.
So glad you went first. I'm like,
I think the word that springs to mind is endearing. I think it's endearing. Yeah.
Stephanie?
Mine is feel good.
Yeah. Deanna?
Fun. It's fun. Yeah.
Sarah?
Deanna, you had just stole mine. Absolutely heartwarming.
Heartwarming. Fantastic. And Princey?
Oh my gosh. 2. Encaptures humanity. So, not 1.
And I think for me, it's kind of like love triangles. I think just, yeah, that's really, I think, at the heart of, like, you know, which way is it going to go? So hopefully everyone who's watching has really enjoyed everything they've seen. I've just got the last social handle to put out for everyone as well. It will come through. That's fantastic. Obviously, we've got other people who couldn't join us tonight who you will hopefully enjoy and see. And obviously, as I say, as you get to know this, you'll see we've got Team Cat, Team Miranda, everyone's Team Lex. Obviously, I mean, that's fine. But, you know, who do you want to ship? And, you know, you'll see there's a lot of other dates that happen. So there might be others that you maybe want to see more of in season 2. But let's find out, you know, please do engage on social media and share who you want Lex to be with. Also, I would say with things like this, when they're independent productions, this one was crowdfunded and then had additional funding. Season 2 could feature anyone watching as an extra, as a walk-in. So, you know, again, the beauty of productions like this is you really can get involved. So, you know, engage with us on social media. We really do love the feedback, and you never know who might be in a future episode as well. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone on screen for joining us as well. It's been a real absolute blast. And we're really excited for everyone to see the show. Sanya, thank you so much for writing such a fantastic story. Stephanie, for your blood, sweat and tears of getting it onto the screen. And Deanna, Sarah, Princey, for just bringing all of your energy to the screen as well. It's a really top quality production. I'm really excited, and I'm really grateful that we got to share a little bit of an insight into what everyone will get to see in just under a week. So yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for having us. Yeah.
And thank you, Naomi, for all your hard work in getting us to where we are today as well, and getting us online. Because without you, we wouldn't be online. So thank you, and thank you for so.
No, I mean, I'm all about authentic stories, and I think this definitely is. And I think also what I would say, just to finish off, is the number one question I get. The bar is quite low, but it is, can we have more stories with a happy ending? And I am absolutely, no spoilers, happy to say that the end of season 1 is a happy ending, but also with an open ending ready for season 2. So we definitely need your views and your watches. But there are no dead lesbians. There's a happy ending in present day, and I think all those things are things we want.
Yes, we keep them all alive and well.
Everyone's alive, everyone's happy, everyone's happy. Well, maybe not everyone's happy.
It's the 2 questions we get: a happy ending and no one gets killed off. I mean, so yeah, but we go, I think Love Me Lex goes much beyond that as well, which is good. But we've definitely ticked those 2 boxes and a whole host more in this. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your days or nights, depending where you are in the world, and we look forward to having feedback from everyone of what they enjoyed.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.